absolute irony of MSNBC canceling Joy Reid in the readout 4 days after they, on their Blue Sky account, congratulated her for winning not one but two NAACP awards. You need to grow a pair, MSNBC, and quit being so afraid of Donald Trump.
We're in the middle of a hostile government takeover. I want to talk about it, but I'll be late for work. And if you're saying, wait a minute, who we have to stop this? We had one, but you didn't want the lady in office. Now that we're a part of a Nigerian prince scam, surprise, surprise, it ended up being a white man.
YouTube family. So today I want to talk about the Joy Reid firing. And I seen the coverage yesterday. Apparently she was let go from MSNBC, and basically what they cited was her views were down, her viewership had decreased, I think between the demographic 26 to 35, I believe. I don't believe that. And the reason I don't believe that is because, well, several reasons. I think personally, just my personal opinion, I think this was basically a capitulation to Donald Trump and the Trump administration. I remember a couple of months ago, Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski, I believe is how you pronounce her last name, it was all the talk that their ratings were tanking because they basically capitulated to Donald Trump, went down to Mar-a-Lago and decided to, I guess, join the Trump train and kiss the ring and whatever the case, right? And so I haven't heard much about Joy Reid's viewership declining until she was fired. I think, and this is speculation, but this is what I think happened. I think that the news organizations, I think that they're afraid of Donald Trump. I can tell by certain things. I literally stopped covering, because I used to do commentary on The View on my page. I no longer do commentary on The View on my page because there's a lot of topics that they're not talking about. They didn't talk about Elon Musk's hand gesture. They didn't talk about when that representative's husband chose not to shake Kamala's hand. There were certain topics, like big stories, that they didn't talk about. And it felt very nefarious to me. Yes, they still go after Trump. Yes, they still give their opinions. But if you notice, Alyssa, and this is not about The View, so I'm not going to go into detail, but Alyssa is now more like MAGA. Sarah is transitioning to MAGA, and they're kind of like neutralizing or minimizing their criticism of this administration. And so I think these news networks are afraid of Donald Trump and they're capitulating to him. And I think when Joe and Mika decided to go to Mar-a-Lago, they were saving their jobs. So my speculation is that MSNBC probably had a conversation with Joy and told her she needs to calm down with her rhetoric. And she probably told them no, because she's not. I'm going to tell you guys something about black women. When we say it, we believe it, and we're going to stand on it. So having a conversation or trying to sit somebody down who truly believes something and saying, well, I need you to. No, I'm not doing that. I said what I said. I meant what I said. And it's always going to be that. And so do what you need to do, because I'm going to stand in my truth. I'm going to speak truth to power, and that's what it's going to be forever. Okay, so but here's the thing about people, because I went on TikTok, I've been on Instagram, like all the social sites, and people are celebrating Joy's firing. And here's the thing, I have two perspectives on this. The first perspective is we live in a democracy. We live in a republic. You're supposed to advocate and champion and support speech even when you don't like it, because that's what freedom is about. The First Amendment is freedom of speech. I do not want Hannity canceled. I do not want Tucker Carlson canceled, Megyn Kelly, none of them. They have the right to say what they are saying, even though I don't like it, even though I think it's intellectually dishonest, even though I think it's wrong. But they have a constitutional right to say what they are saying, because we have freedom of speech in this country. And so if you truly believe in a democracy, if you truly believe in a republic, if you truly believe in the Constitution, you know that people have a right to say things even when you don't like it. And so people who are celebrating Joy's firing, you are the only thing that is going to happen, because legacy media is not where it's at anyway. Nobody really watch legacy media. Joy is going to join a more independent platform like Megyn Kelly did, like Don Lemon did, and it's going to push her, like she's going to be better off. She's going to join a YouTube or a place like that, and she's going to be able to speak freely, because now she don't have to adhere to stakeholders. Now she don't have to adhere to board members. Now that she don't have to be under any kind of regulation. I mean, you can't say anything, but you can be more free. So now we have Joy Reid unleashed. And so people who are celebrating her being let go, it's like you're doing nothing but empowering her. She's going to be empowered. Don Lemon is a very good example of this. I know people in my personal life, black people, who did not support Don Lemon when he was at CNN. They did not like him. They did not watch his show. Those same people watch him every day. He go live 2 times a day, and they watch both lives. Because now, remember, just when you don't like certain speech, there's somebody who do. She has an audience. She has people that's going to follow her, support her, advocate for her. And now, because of the way that they did everything, because I wasn't tuning in, to be extremely honest. I wasn't watching her regularly. I will now, because I believe in freedom. I believe in free speech. And so my alarm went off and stopped my video. But basically, you guys are empowering her. She's going to be perfectly fine. Joy has a degree from Harvard. She's been in broadcasting. She's been on TV for forever. She has the resume. She has the credentials. She has the audience. She's going to be fine. And MSNBC will never play in my house. I will never watch them ever again, because I'm exercising my rights. You see how it works? They have a right to do what they did, and I have a right to never watch their network, never, and I'm gonna go further. If I am somewhere and I can go to a restaurant, and if MSNBC is playing, I'm going to ask the restaurant owner, can I change the channel? Because I do not support people who do not believe in the Constitution. And like I said, her viewers or whatever, Joe and Mika, it was a huge story that they had lost, like, I think 35% of their viewership, and they're still there because they went down to Mar-a-Lago. That's why. Because they decided to kiss the ring. That's why. And we live in a democracy, we live in a republic, and if we want to keep it, we need to support people, even not support them. That's probably not the best word, but we still need to advocate for people who's saying things we don't like. I do not like the things that I hear from Tucker Carlson or Candace Owens or a Megyn Kelly, but I do not want them to be canceled. I don't. They have a right to say it. I have a right to ignore it and not ever, indulge or never watch it, but they have a right to say it because of the Constitution. And people are not realizing that, because people it's like they're quick to cancel. And it's so crazy that the right was people that was like, oh, this woke and you're counseling people because you're this cancel culture. And now it seems like they're the ones that's indulging in cancel culture, because it's like they used to call liberals or left-leaning people snowflakes. Who's being the snowflakes now? Like, who's being a snowflake now? Because they can come out and say, oh, it was her ratings. Oh, it was this. Oh, it was that. If it was the ratings, why is Joe and Mika still sitting there? Because it was a big story, big story about what percentage of viewership that they lost. I think it was like 35%, probably more. So this wasn't about ratings and viewership. I'm never going to believe that. I'm just not. I'm not saying she was the most popular host. No, not at all. But there was no stories. I didn't see any stories about her viewership or her ratings until she was fired. So I know that she's empowered now. I know that she's going to get on one of these more independent platforms because nobody watch legacy media anyway. Like who literally, most people are online. That's the reason people are saying that's the reason Donald Trump won the presidency, because he knew to play the social media game. So she's going to get on one of these platforms. I can see her getting 500,000 subscribers within a month, probably less. And then she's going to be Joy Unleashed. And so everybody who's celebrating like, oh, she could just go away. She's not going away. She's not going away, because just like you don't like it, there's people who do. Just like you're not her audience, she has an audience. And that's how democracy works. And that's the reason why we all should be supportive of the actual freedom. It's not like, oh, I support whomever, Megyn Kelly. No, of course not. But I support their right to say what they are saying, because we live in a republic. So, I think it's actually a good thing that she's no longer on MSNBC. I believe she could be more on like a more independent network, and I think she's going to do extremely well. I'm excited for whatever happens next. I'm going to follow her. I'm going to make sure that I'm, watching her and supporting her, because like I said, I believe in the Constitution, and I believe, and I could be wrong, I believe the reason that she was let go is because the networks are afraid of Donald Trump, and they were capitulating to Donald Trump, and they knew that they weren't going to be able to make her shut her mouth. And that's not what any of us should want. Nobody should have to shut their mouths. You should never say speech that's harmful, that's going to hurt somebody, or you can't, yell fire in the theater, all of that. But saying your true perspectives, your opinions, your ideologies about something, that should be welcomed by everybody, even people who don't like you. Because again, we live in a democracy. You guys have a great day. I will talk to you later. Bye. Oh, like, comment, and subscribe. I am so bad at that. Like, comment, and subscribe. Have a great day. Bye.